for me, it's gotten to the point where able to be in tune with my body throughout the day to notice when I'm starting to feel stressed out. Because I notice if I wait till it gets too long, where like I have a headache or my stomach is in knots or I have tension, then it's a longer path to like get everything balanced again.
The Art of Rising, where clarity replaces noise, discipline becomes lifestyle, and growth is intentional. Let's rise together. Woo-wee! Welcome, greetings, family, and welcome to the Art of Rising, where we are exploring transformation, leadership, and conscious visionaries changing the planet. I have the proud honor, as always, sitting with these incredible people. The sister, we've been working together for a while. I see what she's doing. She's growing by leaps and bounds, and she's got some amazing things that she's working on and getting super, super skilled at these things. So please, sister, welcome to the show. Introduce yourself. Let us know where you're living and what you're doing with yourself these days.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I love having conversations with you, Omar. So this is exciting. I am from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised.
Brooklyn, shout out to Brooklyn. Go ahead.
Shout out to Brooklyn. Still in Brooklyn now. And my family, both my parents were from Barbados. And so I have that West Indian background. And both my mother and my grandmother were in health professions. My mother was a registered nurse. My grandmother was a nurse's aide. So it's probably not surprising that I am also in wellness, more on the preventive side, which is actually what I wanted. I wanted to, well, let me just backtrack and say that when I was little, like 6 or 7, for whatever reason, no one in my house was doing this, but I would wake up early to exercise with a show that was coming on TV in the mornings. I probably did it for like a couple months, and I just did it just for fun. So it's so interesting that many, many years later, I'm on the other end of that as a wellness professional, doing online sessions where people are watching me to work out. But
I love that.
yeah, because I realized that it's just been in me, like just this natural pull towards being healthy, being, well, and also having it be fun, having it be fun and playful. And so some of the things that, challenges that I had growing up was losing my grandmother when I was in high school, and then my mother when I was in college. And interestingly, they both had strokes. And, that was really what, led to their passing. And so I just wanted to be not just for fun, but on the other side of health, meaning how can we be so healthy? How can we take such good care of ourselves that, we can be as healthy and as happy for as long as possible? And, I saw them both working hard, taking care of other people, maybe not taking as good of care as themselves. So that's something too that I'm also very mindful of as, someone that's caring for other people, helping them with their health and fitness, making sure that I am taking care of my own health and fitness as I do my work, so doing it in a way where it's fun, it's playful, it's replenishing me as I'm doing it. And so, that's really where this whole holistic approach comes in. So part of, what my challenges have been throughout my health and wellness journey is losing both of them. Like I said, when I was in high school and in college. And then also, I didn't get into fitness right away. I got into corporate America because, no one told me growing up that I could have a career in health and wellness. Like I didn't see anyone doing it. It was more like, go to college and get a stable job in corporate. Like that's what I wound up doing. I wound up working in corporate America at a bank. And, I was doing marketing, so that part of it was fun. But, working for a bank, just making the bank more money and just being in that corporate environment, it wasn't good for my soul. And it didn't take me that long to figure it out. The money was great, but it took 4.5 years, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I know that
Mm,
some people are just like, just go
mm,
get the check and leave. But for
mm,
me,
mm,
that was not what my soul wanted.
mm,
And it was
mm,
taking a toll, like an emotional, spiritual toll.
mm,
And so at a certain point, I decided to
mm,
start a wellness career. And it was because I knew someone who was working at a gym. And so I saw the possibility. And so from there, I never looked back. And I started as a personal trainer in 2003. And
mm,
my wellness career has just expanded through the
mhm,
years, adding
mm,
on different modalities and different
mm,
things. So
mm,
that in a
mm,
nutshell is
mm.
what I've been doing.
Yeah, it's quite a journey. I mean, we all have these things, and I often tell people that we have free will, right? Because many scriptures speak about this. Me and you, we could go rob a bank right now if we wanted to. Like, we might get caught and all that. I don't know. You look like a fast driver. You could be the driver, but free will. We could do whatever it is that we want, right? But when you get these calls, from somewhere, these thoughts or whatever you want to call them, we could answer them or we could not. We could just you could have been still working over there. Trust me, they will have you. Trust me, they'll take you right in and all that, But when we get these other calls and we answer them, man, it's pretty heavy, man. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about that, about the transition. Like, did you just get up like on Monday and you were like, you know what, I'm not going there no more, or was it like, like hold on, like I gotta get a little plan here, or how did it work for you, Leah?
Hmm. Well, I remember it because like everything kind of was spiraling at the same time. Like my mother, like I said, had a stroke and wasn't doing well. And so I was partly taking care of her. We also had a home health aide, but it was quite stressful because I was working at the bank, but I had to make sure I got home in time to relieve the home health aide because my mom couldn't be left alone. And so it was, a very stressful time, but I was, managing it. But the bank, they kept doing layoffs as, big corporations do. And so each layoff, the people that were still there, we were getting extra work. So it was really getting to the point where between, mourning the loss of
Mm,
the mother that I was used to,
mm,
because now, she needed support all the time. She wasn't the same with the brain damage.
mm, mm,
And then dealing with the stress of a job that I'm not passionate about. I really don't want to be there, the politics, all of that. And so I knew I needed to leave. And so what I did was I actually soul searched and thought about, well, what do I like doing that I enjoy? And fitness came up, and I had met someone who was a fitness trainer.
mm,
And so I just ordered the books to become a personal trainer. And I
mm,
was studying, I was doing a home study course while I was still working at Citibank. And my plan was to study, get the certification,
mm,
get a job, and then quit.
mm.
But God made it
Right.
even better than that. He made it
Mm,
even better than that. So what wound up happening was, like I said, every few months they were doing layoffs. And
mm,
eventually I got laid off, which worked out even better because I got a severance package. And after that ran out, I was on unemployment. But it was like I got paid to leave, basically,
yeah.
which gave me plenty of time to study.
Mm,
Now I had all the time in the world to study for this new field that I was
mm,
passionate about. But it's one thing to work out, it's another thing to be trained to
mm.
train other people with all
Yeah.
different health conditions and backgrounds. And, so I had to study like all these things, but I had plenty of time now to study.
Mm,
And then it was wonderful. Like, I mean, I
mm, mm,
I almost feel like once I made the decision that that's what I wanted to do, I feel like God,
mhm,
He made it easier.
mhm,
Like
mhm.
it was in that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And like I said,
Yeah.
I knew someone who worked at a gym. So he basically connected me with someone that he knew that was hiring, looking
Mhm.
for trainers. So I got the job.
Mm,
That was in
mm,
2003. And
mm,
the rest
mm.
is history. Like
Wow,
I worked
that's
at the gym from
incredible.
2003 up until the pandemic. And then after the
Mm,
pandemic, that's when I just became my own. I started my own
mm.
business and just been
Right.
doing it for myself since then.
Yeah, there's a silver lining in all of these things for sure. Like so many stories come out of these things. Like, oh, that was horrible. Yeah, but some other things came out of that. I think of Vishnu. Vishnu is one of the Hindu goddesses, right? She's the one with the many arms, and they call her, the destroyer. But she's
Mhm.
also the creator. So it should be said in the same sentence. Some people just stop right there. But so what happens is that the heavy winds come and throws everything all around and moves things and it looks crazy, but fertile ground comes up for seeds to be sown in different areas and things start to grow. So yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
we see that's a inspiring, story that you have, that sometimes people are going through difficult things. And yeah, no.
Yeah. And I think it's like, I think the key is once you make a decision, like let's say you're in a job and you're like, I can't take it anymore. Once you
Mm, mm,
decide that you want something else and you start taking steps, like I wouldn't say just quit, you know, like
mm,
unless,
mhm,
there's like circumstances. But once
mhm,
you start making tangible steps,
mm,
moving in this new direction, I feel like other things starts aligning to
mhm.
make it smoother. At least that's what happened for
Right.
me.
Yeah, yeah. According to our studies too, we see it, and me personally also. It was only until then when I started seeing the possibility. But then you get that little voice, oh, be careful. Something might go wrong, and what if, bro? What, And then I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, what if those things happen? But what if they don't happen?
Right.
Right? What if they do? It does work out. Like something we think, oh, what if it turns out that way and that's bad? But it's not really bad. It's just is. It's
Right.
just the isness. We don't see it like that because we're
Right.
indoctrinated into this system saying that's good, that's bad, that's dark, that's
Right.
light, but really it's just is. And then
Yeah.
oftentimes they unfold just nicely. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And even though it might look like it's bad, a lot of times it's just aligning you. Like it might be bad, it might get so bad because you're not supposed to stay there.
Mm,
So it's so bad to
mm.
give you that push to leave because otherwise you would just
Yeah,
coast and just,
yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
listen, you go back to that bank right now, you'll see the same folks that you would, they still there. Like, yeah, no matter what, they kick them in the teeth every morning and they just, oh, thank you, sir. And they just go about their business all the time.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's other people, like us, my story is similar in many ways too. I went back to school and I got the degree, the bachelor's degree I wanted in computer science. And I started contracting for a while and I landed that job, the good money, and all types of room to move up, to move sideways, to move, all kinds of things established. I don't want to mention their name, but it's something that people want all the time, that they need it and stuff. But once you start hearing that little voice like telling you, man, and for me it just kept getting louder. Like
Hmm.
the God, the universe, the creator, whatever name you want to put on it, because it goes by many names, but has
Hmm.
no name at all, right?
Hmm.
you know, just telling me, we don't want you here, we want you over there. And I was like, yeah, but I'm here. But they were like, okay, look, you want to be there, okay, yeah, you see. But then something else comes up, boom, like, oh, and then it's again, we want you over here, we don't want you there. And then I'm like, yeah, I want to be there too, I want it. But, and then finally it was the last stroke for me too. And it just worked out that job, the corporate job, it dissolved for me. And then in addition to that, my story is similar in a way that my old man, right, during his last days, and he had been telling me for many years that he didn't want to be in doing that type of work anymore. He didn't want to go to work. He was like, and now he's pushing 80, And I'm like,
Mm.
he's still going to work? Oh man, it was heartbreaking. And then I
Mhm.
got the news that he had fell down on his face, and I
Mhm.
rushed over there to San Francisco, and I was with him, and he had a liver thing, and it was just coming close to time, and but while I was there, Leah, he was still on the phone with the job, talking about, oh, I'm waiting for the doctors what they're saying, but I'll be there soon. I'm like, even saying, right, it's hard for me to say it. Like, I get very emotional, so I have
Mhm.
that component also. Like, nah, man, we don't gotta go out like that. We don't
Mhm.
have to. Why?
Right.
So smart, and we know we can learn how to eat, take care of our bodies, meditate, yoga, stretch, run. Like, so
I know. I know. I know.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but tell me about you, like this journey that you're on now. How does it
Mhm.
look for you? When you rise, what are your routines? What are your rituals? That your foundation.
Wow. Well, I mean, I definitely, so my holistic approach, which is called body love, and it was basically born out of, the 17 years I was working at the gym, seeing all different people, all walks of life. And I realized that the people that were the healthiest, that were the fittest, that were seeing their goals and maintaining them, they were doing four different things really well. They were sleeping well, they were managing their stress levels, which can look different ways. They were eating healthy most of the time. And then they were consistently physically active. And so those are the four areas of my body love method. And those are four areas that I definitely prioritize in my own wellness practice.
Mm,
Um, like for years, I have been like militant
mm, mm,
about getting at least 7 hours of sleep. I mean, for
mm.
years. Like I feel
Right.
like now people are like, yeah, at night put your phone on airplane mode. But when it wasn't popular to do that, I didn't have my phone in my
Mm,
bedroom,
mhm,
like my cell
mm,
phone. I would
mhm.
turn my ringer off, and people would actually like have issues with that.
Yeah.
Like we can't reach you. Like, what if
Yeah.
something happens? And you know, but to be honest, what I say is that if something is happening and I need to
Mm,
be woken up, I trust
mm.
that I'll get the message somehow.
Right.
Like
Right.
God will wake me up,
Right.
or
Right.
whatever, like a car horn might honk
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Like I have
Yeah.
total faith that I will get whatever I need to get,
Yep.
you know,
Mhm,
like I'm
mhm.
prioritizing my sleep. Don't call me after 11
Right.
o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you can call, but I'm not going to
Right.
answer.
Exactly.
So that is something we have to do, the TV,
Mhm,
watching TV late at night, the blue light. So I do all the things to make sure that,
mhm,
my sleep is good. And then as far as managing stress levels, I do that in a
mhm,
lot of different ways. But right now, for me, it's gotten to the point where able to be in tune with my body throughout the day to notice when I'm starting to feel stressed out. Because I notice if I wait till it gets too long, where like I have a headache, or my stomach is in knots, or I have tension, then it's a longer path to like get everything balanced again. So I'm very in tune of, okay, when am I getting stressed out or not giving myself what I need? And so I
mhm,
try to address it in the moment so it doesn't escalate to the different symptoms we get when we feel stressed out. Like everybody will feel stressed differently, whether it's
mhm,
tightness, whether it's pain, whether
mhm,
it's headaches, whether whatever it is. So I,
mhm,
I know how my body lets me know you need to slow down. You're
mm,
doing too much. You're not,
mm, mm,
listening to what we're trying to tell you. We need this, we need that. You need a
mm,
break. You need a
mhm.
break.
Right.
Like how many times do we, are we sitting down, for example, and you might feel like, ooh, I really should stand up right now. Like me, my back will start to get tight. I could feel it. Like if I'm
Right.
on a computer working, And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm tempted to ignore it because I just wanna finish this thing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
but my back is
Yeah.
talking to me. So
Right.
it's like answering those calls. Like your back wants
Mm,
you to get up. It could
mm.
just be 5 minutes,
Right.
move
That's
around,
that's
maybe
that's
do a
that's the
stretch.
language. The language of the body is pain. So
Yes,
right.
yes. And pain will get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really
Mm-hmm.
that, in addition to, of course, getting massages here and there and, doing my stretches,
Mm-hmm.
prioritizing pleasure. So
Mm-hmm.
taking time to listen to the birds out the window or whatever it is that puts a genuine smile on your face, because pleasure is different to different people.
Mm-hmm.
Like drinking some lemon water, like drinking a glass of lemon
Mm-hmm.
water first thing in the morning.
Mm.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Like even
Yeah.
so, it could be something as small as that. And
Yeah.
then, of course, the diet, healthy
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. Like I indulge in food just for pleasure. I'm not gonna lie, but most of what I eat, most of
Mm-hmm.
what I eat
Mm-hmm.
is healthy. It's
Right.
healthy.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
it is home cooked. Most of it is home cooked.
Mm.
Um,
Good.
and I'm very intentional about making sure that I'm eating balance. So getting all the
Mm.
macronutrients, so enough carbs, enough protein, enough fat. Like fat
Mm.
is not the enemy. Like we need to
Mm.
eat fat.
Mm.
You want it to be
Right.
unsaturated fat. You want it to be the healthy fat. And you want to be
Mm-hmm.
mindful of how much of fat you're eating, but making sure I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting all my vitamins, all my minerals, mainly from food first. Like I always try to get it from food first and then a supplement when I can't get it from food for whatever reason.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mm.
then,
Mm.
of course, moving my body. So I
Yeah.
personally prefer,
How does that look when you rise?
okay.
Yeah, yeah, I love this. Go ahead.
So my preferred ways to work out is body weight exercises, push-ups, lunges, squats. I have stairs in my house. So I'll just, during the day, do a couple rounds on the stairs holding, weights. Like I
Mm.
like to do that. Um, I do planks, I do push-ups, stretching, foam rolling. I like to walk. So a lot of times I will, instead of driving to run my errands, I'll walk if I don't have to be carrying like heavy bags.
Mm-hmm.
So, I walk as much as possible as opposed to driving.
Mm.
And I used to do morning walks, which I loved. And when it warms up, I'll probably start doing that again. But
Mm-hmm.
morning walks, not a power walk, just
Mm.
a relaxing walk,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just to walk. And that
Mm-hmm.
is something that is very stress reducing and just getting
Mm-hmm.
that natural sunlight, just being out in the elements, listening to the birds, looking at the vegetation, looking at the sky. That is something that I like to do. Um, so yeah, those are my preferred ways to work out.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's incredible because it hits home for me. I did want to mention about the walking. People seem to discount just walking, but no, this walking's great. That's why you see the senior citizens. They be up in the mall, right? They walk all day around it. They be around forever. Walking is super powerful. The
Yeah, I mean,
sleep.
there's so many
Mm,
benefits to walking. Like
mm.
even to like keep your blood sugar levels balanced,
Yep.
it's good to walk after a meal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
Just
could
walk.
just be just a few blocks. It doesn't have to be a
Mm.
long
Right.
30-minute walk.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Humans, we're twisted like that. We think like it's got to be this grandiose thing or else nothing. No, no, the small things. Sweat the small things. That's what we tell
Yes.
people. So the sleep, right? When I'm tired, I make bad choices. I eat
Mm,
the whole tub of ice cream or I fry this and so that's sleep. Wow. Yes, you got to get the right sleep. It's different for everybody. So let's not
yes.
argue all day about 4 or 8 and 7 and just whatever works for you, man.
Right. The point
But
is you wake up and you feel refreshed.
right,
So
exactly.
that's
For
that's the
me,
feeling you want to go for.
yes.
Feel like,
For
yeah,
me,
okay, I feel
right.
rejuvenated.
Yeah. when I rise at 4 o'clock in the morning. There's different reasons for that. I have young kids in the house, and once they get up at 6:37, like it's on, and that's it. It's over. Like
Mm,
once they get up, that's it. So that time is for me, you see. And then
mhm,
my preferred method of exercising is running. So I
mhm.
run. Oftentimes, I run every day, 7 days a week, about 6.5 to 7 miles, and I want to push
Indoors or
myself
outdoors?
outdoors.
Okay.
Outdoors, even with the cold, because I know the
Yeah,
weather and the temperature and all that. And
yeah.
oftentimes it's pretty brick out there. My hands are freezing, and I go through things. I mean, sometimes I bring a bottle of water with me, and it's frozen. I'm running with a block of ice. I can't drink, but then my hands
Wow.
are biting. Like this. This is, but I tell you, Leah, it's all about the mental thing, because
Yes.
already we're into breath work and ice plunge, so we're about pushing the limits. We're just that's what we
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
Why? Because it helps in other areas of your life.
Yes.
But the sleep is important, and then that helps with the stress levels. Like if you're
Mhm.
not tired and you're refreshed, when something comes your way, you be like, man, listen, I see you already. I got you. Okay, so that's great. Then you mentioned the eating. So
Mhm.
um, what we often tell people is, if you go to a day job, you need to be food prepping. Food prepping are for real players. Make your
Yes.
food. Yeah,
Yes.
make it. And sometimes people go, well, I can't eat the same thing for 5 days. Then make two different things, or mix and match it. Make it interesting for you. That's
Mhm.
all. But once you
Yeah.
go out there and you don't bring your food, you're at the mercy of these corporations.
Yep.
They got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can't find what you want. It doesn't taste as good. I mean, it's just
It's
yeah,
expensive.
that's right. It adds up. Like
Yep, yeah,
$10 every day,
yeah,
at least it
yeah.
adds.
10, it'd be 20 now. It's crazy.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, if you're
Yeah,
at work 8 hours in an 8 hour time frame, you're gonna have to eat more than once.
yeah,
You
exactly. And the
know.
snacks and all of this
Yeah.
yeah. In fact, when we spend, often we're not recording anything. So I read this book years ago, The Automatic Millionaire, and he had something called the latte factor. And he said, if you add up the latte coffee that you buy every day for 5 days, just five, for a year, it's a down payment on a house,
Mm,
right? So he said, make your coffee at home. Make it at
yeah.
home. You like coffee, make it and put it in your thing and take it with you like that. Getting, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same for food. We need to prep our food. It's healthier. You know
Mhm.
what you're putting into it and all of these things. Sunday
Mhm.
night, that's it for me. I like it currently. I'll make some lentils, a lentil stew. I'll make some hummus. Things like that. I'm ready. Some
Mhm.
sweet potatoes. Like I mix it up with vegetables, and I'm usually a plant based.
Okay.
Usually,
Mhm.
I don't really eat meat. I'm a flexitarian. I tell people, right? If I
That's
want
a
to eat
good
meat,
thing.
I eat meat. Yeah, but I try to make it the right type,
Mhm.
pasture raised, grass fed,
Mhm.
and grass finished, right? This is a new thing we're learning. If
Right.
you're buying beef, you should buy it grass finished, because oftentimes we learn in the industry, they're feeding them grass in the beginning, and in the end, they put all that garbage in them, and then you get that, you know.
I
Yeah.
know. They will find those loopholes.
Yeah, that's why we have to take command of our bodies, of our mind. We have to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me, how is it when they come to you? Somebody comes and they have all these issues, and they're looking at you like, "Hey, you're gonna fix this, right, Leah?" Like, how's it look when people come to you? How do you help
Yeah.
them? How do you start it?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I do is I have a quiz, and it's called the Body Love Blocker Quiz. It's 7 quick little questions. And what it does is I like to start people there because it'll tell me what is going to be possibly in the way or has been in the way of you being your healthiest, fittest self. And usually it's habits and behaviors or mindsets that people have. Because most people know that they should exercise. They know what healthy food is, and they may or may not be doing that, but it's the little habits and behaviors they do every single day that can be undermining it. So the quiz will first of all let us know, what is it for you? So what is the archetype in you that is preventing you from losing weight, losing body fat, or just being your healthiest self? Maybe you're having aches and pains. So there's 5 different responses you can get. So once they take the quiz, then we know what's in the shadows that could potentially sabotage their results. Because so many people, they start on the wellness journey and then eventually they stall, they backslide, they stop seeing results, they're not getting any
Yeah,
results.
yeah.
So this is like what's happening behind the scenes that's in the way. And once we know that right out the gate, then we can work on that as we do the exercise and the nutrition coaching, you know.
That's positive. Hmm.
Yes. So the two, I start with the quiz and then I'm like, okay, so we know we got to work on this while we're doing either the fitness training or we're doing nutrition coaching, or we might be doing like overall holistic wellness coaching. So,
Mm,
because some people, they already know it's kind of like they're overstressed, they're overwhelmed, their hormones are out of balance. So that's like a more of a holistic approach, because
mm,
there's a lot of ways your hormones can get out of balance, but there's a lot of ways we can bring it back into balance.
mm,
So, that's something that I can do. I do with people as well. So that
yeah.
overall nervous system regulation,
Mm,
emotion um, skills, because emotions that aren't dealt with and processed and released can lead to dis-ease in the body, can
mm,
lead to people doing coping mechanisms that are harmful. So whether
mm,
it's emotional eating or, drugs and alcohol or whatever, because they don't have the skills to deal with like big emotions that come up. So that's
mm,
something I also, work with people on, is how do you, manage your anxiety,
mm,
in a healthy way, or anger in a healthy way. Like, how do you
mm,
process it? How do you channel it in a
mm,
healthy way so that it doesn't create these stressful physical responses in your body or cause you to gain body fat or, not sleep at night. So even though you're working
mm.
out, your body can't build muscle, because
Right.
workout is one thing, but our body makes the changes from the workouts while we're sleeping. So if you're not getting
Mm,
sleep, you're not going to get results from your
mm,
exercise programs. So
right.
all these different pieces we
Come
need to,
together.
yes,
Hmm.
we need to work on, make sure they're on point, make sure that, we're improving them, bringing more balance
Yeah,
into these different areas. So I,
yeah,
I love it. It's
mm,
fun because
yeah,
as you
yeah.
can imagine, every client is coming with different, issues. So
Right.
it's never like a dull moment. And I'm always,
Mm,
challenged to like, okay, figure out this puzzle with their help,
mhm. Right.
because
Yeah,
they only
they got
see me,
to. Yeah.
yeah, like they might only see me 2, 3 hours out of a week, but the
Mhm,
rest of the
mhm.
time I'm
Right,
not there. So they
right.
have to do, they have
Mhm.
to do the work. So it's really like a
Right.
co-creation with
Yes,
clients.
yes, yes. That's beautiful. And it seems as if you're saying that something internally has to shift before any true changes show up. You know?
Absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely.
yeah,
You
yeah,
could, yeah,
yeah.
that's the nail on the head right there.
Because
That is,
it's
yeah.
always inside. If you study the masters, they all say a few things the same, and one of them is we're creating this world that we're in. It's
Mm-hmm.
all in here. It's in your mind. You like your job or you don't like it. You're creating it. You're doing it. You don't have to. I'm here with my wife and my 2 children. I don't have to be here, right? Some people are like, oh, you have to. No, I don't. No, I could just get up and go to Zimbabwe and just and hang out over there or do so. I could do whatever it is that I want. But if I'm
Mm-hmm.
here, then I need to be managing some of these things if we're going to be in this society. And those things come with this holistic lifestyle. And it's the mind. Got to get the
Mm.
mind right.
Mm. I heard someone say this week that you don't manifest what you want,
Mm,
you manifest what you believe.
mm,
So it's these, a lot of times people don't get what they want because they have hidden beliefs that aren't in alignment with what they want, like
mm,
beliefs that's in their subconscious mind. And so if you don't dig in there and
mm,
find out what you believe, like what these beliefs are that are not in alignment with what you want, it's going
mm.
to keep running the show. Because
Yeah.
they say like our subconscious mind is predominantly running us. Like
Yes.
so we can shine the light of consciousness on it and be aware of what we're thinking, because our thoughts are kind of creating our life.
Mhm,
Because when you
mhm.
think certain thoughts, you're going to take certain actions based on those thoughts.
Yes.
And then that's going to either make you or not make you get what you want. So, but
Yeah.
if you don't know that you're having these thoughts of
Mhm,
something,
mhm.
you know, then
Yeah.
you won't be able to change it.
Yeah. Here at the Omziel Healing Sanctuary, that's one of the things that we focus on. You
Mm,
first have to know that that thing in the background is playing, right? I
yes.
think of Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton, he's a great speaker and written many books, but he says that the subconscious is the one, you're right, is running it. So take for instance when you're driving in the car, right? You just drive and then you go, oh, I passed a few exits, like, and now I didn't even notice I was driving. But who's driving that? It's your
Mm,
subconscious. That's the one that's making these decisions. That and
mhm,
but he also says that it's like a record that's playing in the background, but it's been so long we don't even notice it anymore, right?
mhm.
It's like the fish. When you ask the fish about the water, what the fish says, what water? What are you talking about? Right? You see, because they're
Yeah.
in that environment for so long. But we need to get back there into that record, that's playing, and do the remix on it.
And
Yeah.
delete some of those files that are
Yeah.
outdated. Like I'll even catch myself sometimes saying like, even throughout the day, I might say, want to do something and I'll be like, oh, I don't have time to do that. And then I catch myself and I'm like, wait a minute, is that really true? Do I not have
Mm,
the time? And
mhm,
I could have the time, but
mhm,
it's like
mhm,
immediately like an old thought pattern would come up. And if you just listen to it and
mm,
follow it, you're still stuck,
mhm,
but it's like if
mhm,
you
mhm.
challenge the thought and be like, well, wait, do I really not have the time to do that? You'll
Yeah.
see that you do have the time. You
Yeah.
just may
Yeah.
need to, adjust things differently or whatever. But so it's
Mm,
having that awareness to catch these things,
mm.
and that will really help people to actually get what it is that they want.
Yeah, we highly recommend running because running running is different from lifting weights and stuff like that. Because running is like meditation, moving meditation, right? So here I am, right? It's 4:30 in the morning. Nobody's out there, and I'm, you know, going through it, going right. And now the thoughts are coming. They're coming and coming. I'm tired. It's cold. I want to get home. And then the thoughts start coming in. Oh, remember that time when you did that thing and you see you not worthy and that I'm like, hey, wait a minute, wait a minute. I see you. I see you. Now you come for me. Now when I'm tired and all of that, right?
Mm,
You're obvious. You're obvious. I see you. You see? And then
that's right.
and then you trick it right there. But you got to be careful because it's a tricky one. Because then
It
it jumps on
is.
your side. It jumps on your side and go, yeah, you see him. You see him? You see?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like,
it's
no, it's you.
it's so true. Like if you are not like super present and aware,
Mhm.
it'll just drag you along and have you doing
Drag
whatever
you
it's
along.
saying.
Yeah.
So it really,
Another
yeah.
one is in ancient Kemet in the temples on the tap. It said the maxim said, "Know thyself." You
Hmm.
see, it was almost as if they were saying, before you come in this temple, start asking for all this from whatever thing you're connected with. Know yourself first.
Mm,
See what makes you tick first.
hmm.
You know. But perhaps you could tell me about the clients that you're seeing. how do you guide them with discipline and consistency and ambition, without burning themselves out or falling back into the old recording again?
Hmm. Well, the most important thing is that they establish some sort of a schedule. So, like with my clients, I typically see them twice a week, depending on what package they have and what they're working on. But so they'll see me a certain number of times, and then they also have times where they do their own practice. So whether they're doing cardio on their own, or like the more you can structure it where, okay, I'm going to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever, as opposed to just winging it. Because
Mm,
when you just wing it, then something else can come up and then you don't do it. And then so the more they can like schedule, like have standing times where they're doing different things with me and then with their own, solo practice. There's that. And then some of my clients, I'm also working with them on their nutrition. And so with that, I use apps where they can put in what they're eating and I'm able to see it and give them feedback. So that's been working very nicely because they feel like, they're not alone and that they always have me to like make sure that they're staying on track.
mm,
Because if the eating is not on point with the fitness goal, you're not going to get there,
right.
so that has to be on point. And so so they have some way of tracking what they're doing, so
Mm,
that way they know that they're getting the calories that they need, the vitamins, the minerals, because that could really make or break whether or not they reach the goal and how
mm,
long it's going to take.
mm,
So that helps them. And then also too, what a lot of people don't realize is that exercise itself is a stress to the body. So
mm,
we talk about stress
mm,
management,
mm,
and so exercise, it is its own stress, but you want to make sure that you're stressing your body at the right level where it's not, putting you into fight, flight, or freeze mode of your nervous
mm,
system. So where
mm,
it's not getting your nervous system out of balance, or
mm,
you're not overtraining. And there's signs to look for that you are overtraining. And you would know if you're not sleeping well, because exercise should have you sleep better at night. If it's
mm,
not, then you might be doing too much, like it might be too strenuous, or you're not giving yourself enough um, time to rest and recover. So that's a
mm,
sign. Also, if you're not seeing results, that could be a
mm,
sign. Also, if you're
mm,
getting hurt,
mhm,
so there's
mhm,
different ways to kind of pinpoint if your exercise is at the right intensity or not.
mm,
So
mm, mm,
because you never want it to be where the exercise is like punishing, like
mhm,
you want to
mhm,
feel a sense of accomplishment and even feel like you have more
mhm,
energy after the workout, like feel like pumped up
mhm,
and
mhm,
energized.
mhm,
So
mhm.
if you're not feeling those things, then those are some signs that the intensity might need to be adjusted.
Okay, so now that makes me think of two things, but let's address the first one. You're seeing clients. What are some of the clients that you are interacting with that you know for a fact that it's this thing and they just can't see it, and it's
Hmm.
that thing, like, and they're like, yeah, but I'm trying, and you be like, it's this other, and so tell me, how does that work?
Well, one thing that I've been seeing a lot, and I've been seeing this for years with people, is that people a lot of times don't eat enough for their active lifestyle. So, like a lot of people want to lose weight. Like a lot of people come to me because they want to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. Like if you don't have the right things in place, it can be
Mm-hmm.
hard. So
Mm-hmm.
they can't lose it. But interestingly, what I have been finding is that they immediately think I need to work out more and eat less. Like that's, it kind of makes sense. Like, okay, I want to
Mm-hmm.
lose weight, so work out more, eat less. But if you increase your workouts, you actually need to eat more,
Mhm.
but it's the quality of the food that you're eating. So there's that. But yeah, so what I've been finding is people wasn't eating enough for their level of physical activity. And so that alone is very stressful on the body because our body needs a certain amount of calories just to function. So just
Mhm.
to pump the blood, for the lungs to breathe, for your
Mhm.
brain to
Mhm.
function. And the brain, its primary source of fuel is carbs. Like it needs
Mhm.
sugar. So the
Mhm.
people that are like on a no carb diet or a low carb
Mm.
diet, that could be tricky, especially if they're
Mm.
increasing their workouts.
Right.
So I have been finding people who the reason why they wasn't able to lose weight, they wasn't eating enough. And when I would try to tell them this,
Mm.
I was getting so much resistance. It's almost like they don't believe me.
Mm.
Like, and I get
Right.
it. Like it makes
Right.
like intuitively, you're like, oh yeah, I should barely eat anything if I want to
Right.
lose weight. But you can't go below what your body needs to just function. You can't eat less than
Mm.
that. And then if you're
Right.
adding on, now I'm going to the gym 4 days a week, the
Right.
body is just like, whoa,
Right. Whoa.
it just shuts it all
Yeah.
down. Like it goes
Yeah.
into survival mode. So it learns
Mm.
how, so what it basically does is it slows down your metabolism. So you're definitely not going to lose weight. You might even
Right.
gain weight,
Yep. Yeah.
you know.
It's just storing it. It's like, oh no, this survival. We can't
Yeah,
be letting go of this. We gotta hold
yeah.
on.
Yeah, your body is starving. It's
Yeah.
starving. And
Yeah.
so that has been like
Interesting.
like I said, for years, the
Yeah.
struggle to get them to see that. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just I don't know if it's like a programming or just some inner
Right.
resistance or
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
won't believe it. But the ones that I can get them to believe it, once
Mm.
they start eating more,
Right.
then they
Right.
start losing the weight because your body's like, oh, okay, okay, she's eating
It's
again.
okay. It's okay. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
going to get some more food and a few, so now we can
Yeah.
release the weight. So,
Some of these things, Leah, I know that we're indoctrinated into these systems and also in our DNA structure. Humans just, we don't eat as like we used to eat. In early days, humans were foraging and they were lucky to come across a meat. And now you go to store anything you want in all different flavors, which is another point that I thought about too, that humans, we're just animals, right? We're just
mhm,
we're animals. People don't like to think like that, but we are. We're
we
just
are.
animals with fork and knife, and we think we're civilized because we eat like that. But we're animals with like jewelry on, that
Right.
fancy
At the top
stuff.
of the
But
food chain.
that's it. But we're that's it. But we're the only animals probably on the planet that start mixing foods with these other things. Like a
Mm.
banana is just a banana, and an apple is just an apple. Oh no, now we got to throw some sweet caramel on it and fry it, and it's just insane. But
I
I
know.
noticed, I noticed that in my running too, that I was running more. I was increasing. Now my mindset is like, let's go. Oh, come on, you got this. And I was out there, but then I was feeling like, Dracula, like, and I'm not eating over here. What's going on? My energy is low. But I said, you know what? I'm going to start increasing. And it started definitely working for me. Yeah, definitely. Before I leave, sometimes I eat a little banana with some almond butter. Oof, it's on. I'm out there. It's on. And then
Yeah. Like people would
yeah,
not think to look at me that I eat as much as I do.
right,
But
right.
I realized that I have a fast metabolism. I have for a long
Hmm.
time, but it's like I've trained my body that way. Like
Exactly,
I literally
exactly.
trained my metabolism
Right.
to be fast because I
Yeah.
actually do enjoy eating and I enjoy food, but I
Mm,
know not
mm,
to
mm.
overdo it. So even if it's like a
Right, right,
treat,
right. Right,
I
right.
know not to overindulge,
Right.
But
Yeah. I did want to tell you that you do pass the eyeball test. You do. Yeah, yeah. You look like that people want and stuff like that, which is great because I've been to other places too, and the guy was trying to sell me something or do something, and then his belly was like so far out, he probably haven't seen his private parts in years, and he's trying to tell me, "Take this, it's good for you." I'm like, well, bro, like even if it is, I don't know about that, bro. So You passed the
Yeah.
eyeball test.
Thank
The
you.
other second thing that I wanted to mention and speak about also is, how about the people that you do see that are successful? What is it? Tell us some of the success stories. Not to go
Mhm,
into again names and those type of things, but what is it
mhm,
that you're seeing that people are really getting it, man, and
mhm,
have come out of some dire situations? Because I know you've seen this, I've seen it too. So how's
mhm.
that look?
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, so I'm working with this woman and she has lost almost 30 pounds working with me. And, it was a journey. And the excess weight that she was holding, it was causing pain in her feet when she walked. And, her blood sugar had gotten high. She was pre-diabetic. So, for the health of her body, we really needed to like get a handle on this. And so she was so successful because she was very she stuck to the program. So we worked together twice a week, and she also was swimming, which is great cardio, especially if you have issues with your joints, because you're not going to have that impact. So she was swimming. She also was she has a bike at home. So she was also doing cardio on the bike when she wasn't swimming. And so she made the changes to her diet that, like, she was one of the people that I saw was under eating. So, under eating meaning for the amount of physical activity she was doing, her
Mhm.
body wasn't getting enough fuel. And so we had to work on that. I had to convince her to eat a little bit more, because people
Right.
like, "Wait, I want to lose weight. You're telling me to
Yeah,
eat more."
right, right.
But when I look
Mhm,
at everything the person is doing, I'm
mhm,
able to see how much they need to eat.
mhm,
So it's not like
mhm,
everybody needs to eat the same amount. It depends on how
mhm.
active you are, what your goal is,
Right,
what different exercises you're doing. And
right.
so, we figured out, okay, this is how much you need. And so
Mm,
she was
mm,
doing that. I also noticed she had certain micronutrient deficiencies. So,
mm,
in particular, she wasn't getting enough potassium, she wasn't getting enough iron. What else? She wasn't getting enough protein. A
mm,
lot of people, especially, and she's not vegan, but vegetarian. And so
mhm,
with
mm,
vegetarians, vegans, you got to be very intentional to make sure you're getting enough protein.
mhm, mhm,
Because when you lose weight, if you're not eating enough protein, you could lose muscle instead of
mm,
fat. And you don't want that,
mhm,
because if you lose muscle, then your metabolism slows down, and also you lose strength. Like, you
mm.
definitely don't ever want to lose muscle. And
Right.
so yeah, so I realized she wasn't getting enough protein, she wasn't getting enough potassium, she wasn't getting
Mm,
enough iron. And so we were able
mm,
to figure out little tweaks she could make to her diet. Because that's what
mm,
I don't tell somebody, I don't overhaul their whole diet. I look at how they currently eat, and then we make
mhm,
tweaks here and there so that it's not
mm.
overwhelming. It doesn't seem like
Right, I gotta eat cardboard and boiled chicken, right, for a week. Yeah, yes.
exactly. No, we're gonna work with how you currently eat and just tweak here and there until we get
Mm,
it to where we need to get it. And
mm,
so she did what I asked her to do. Like, some
mm,
clients, I'm not gonna lie, I'll say, "This is what you need to do on your own,"
mhm,
and they
mhm.
don't do it,
Right,
or they
right.
don't do it 100%. Maybe they do it
Mhm,
50%. Like,
mhm,
some
mhm,
people aren't drinking enough water. And no
mm,
matter what I say, I tell them, and they're like, "Yeah, I tried. I only got
mhm,
2 or
mhm.
3 cups." And
Right,
it's like nothing
right,
is gonna work right if you're dehydrated,
right, right.
But some people, it's like, I don't know, based on their day to day or just maybe
Mhm,
habit, what they're used to, they find it hard to stay
mhm.
hydrated.
I did want to add a bit of advice or suggestion, right? I don't like advice. I like a suggestion that the cellular phone is your friend. Oh, yes, it's your enemy too. I know, but it can work for you. There's an alarm system there, right? You can make alarms. So you could just say water and then put it for 1 hour. or 30 minutes or whatever. And then your phone is just on the side. You're working during the day and over. Once it starts going up, beep, 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 you look at it, water. You got your water right there. Drink your water, boom, set it again, put it down. This
Right.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
No,
helps
we
me.
sometimes we need help. Like if you're struggling with something, you need
Hmm.
support, whether it's your
Yeah.
phone,
Hmm. Hmm.
whether it's
Yeah.
another person,
Yeah.
writing sticky notes, reminders, like we
That's it.
need,
That's right.
until we can make it habitual, you need little supports so that it
Right.
can become a healthy habit.
The thing that we do here at Omziel, we push hard is tracking. You should be tracking things. Like right over here, I have a yearly calendar and I also have the desk calendar, the monthly one. So I take off a month and I put it up. That way every day I can write things there. So my yearly
Mhm.
one, that's my running. I'm tracking it with the app, how long I did, the calories I burned, the distance, how long it took me, things like that. And then with the desk calendar, the day to day, there I've chosen to put other things like my yoga, my breath work, um, also the yuca fries that I ate too, or the whole, bucket of popcorn when I was in the movies with the kids, with all that butter
Right.
that is not even butter, it's
Oh, right.
chemicals. It's not
Exactly.
even yeah, but if you don't track it, how
Yeah.
would you know? It's like saying, "Oh, I'm losing weight. Look, my pants are loose." I'm like, that could be gas. It could be, it could be
Right.
anything. You need to track
Yeah.
what is coming in.
You
Mm,
do. You
mhm,
do. You
and
do.
out. Yeah.
You do. Like how much sleep do you get every night? And then
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
notice, I slept really well last night. Okay,
Right.
what was different about that night?
Right. Yeah.
Did you turn the
Hmm.
TV off earlier? Were
Yeah.
you more relaxed right before bed?
Hmm.
Did you
Hmm.
because like you said, if you don't know,
Hmm.
if you're not tracking, you don't know what's working or you don't know
Exactly.
what's working and what's not working and
Exactly. That's right. You wouldn't know. You'd be like, "Oh, I had a good day today." Why? Don't you want to have a good day every day?
why.
Right? Well, let's find out. Why was that day so
Yeah,
good? Yeah.
yeah,
A
yeah.
big one for us too is the meditation too.
Oh,
I try to
yeah.
get in 10, 15 minutes, and sometimes some longer ones too, but I noticed that my day is a little better. I'm a
Mm,
little more happier and I'm like, there's so much science. I tell people, don't believe me, look it up. Look it
yeah,
up, research it. You see
yeah.
that meditation has been recorded like over 5,000 years. Anything that has been around for that long, Leah, we should
Mm,
pay attention to it.
exactly.
You know,
Exactly. And forget
how
about even just being, more peaceful and centered. There's so many health benefits to meditate. Like it literally changes your brain.
yeah, yeah, the high blood pressure, low blood pressure, your mood, your physical body, your activity, you're calm, you're centered. Then when they come with all that BS, belief system, right?
Right. That's
When they
right.
come with all that BS, you be like, listen, man, save that for somebody else that might want to, we're
Yeah.
not doing that over here. You could bring that over there. Like I'm
Right.
I'm centered. I know. I'm here. I know. I know what worked for me and
Yeah.
serves me well. So that's
Mhm.
beautiful. So we're coming up on the hour. Tell us, where can people find you if they're looking for you, and how they can reach out to you.
Yes. Well, I'm happy to say you can find me online and offline. So online, it's Leah Moore Wellness on Instagram, and that is my website as well, leahmorewellness.com. And then in person, I'm doing a Pilates class at Nicholas on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. 45-minute class to lengthen and strengthen your whole body. And then we end with restorative stretching and breath work so that you leave there feeling relaxed.
Mm.
And then I'm also doing the Purely Holistic Soul Expo, which Nicholas is putting on again.
Mhm,
That's
yeah.
on February 22nd. And there I'm going to be doing one-on-one sessions. So if you want a little taste of what it's like to work with me, I'll be doing one-on-one sessions. The sessions can be fitness training, It can be stretching, it can be Pilates, it can be nutrition coaching, it can be an overall holistic wellness coaching session,
Mhm.
and also a somatic session, which is really good to
Mhm.
remove any tension, tightness, nervous system issues, move it out of your body in a very short period of time. So I'm
Yeah.
really
Mm,
excited
mm,
about these
yeah.
two
Yeah.
in-person
Me too.
things going on
I
in Brooklyn.
I remember when I first met Monique of Nicholas Brooklyn. She told me, "Man, I'm looking for somebody to do this, Pilates and yoga thing." And yeah, it looked like she's got the right person in you right there for real. So
Yeah.
Tuesdays, if you're in Brooklyn, check out Lee over there, and especially the Purely Holistic Soul Expo. I was there last year with the ice plunge and the breath and all that. I seem to have become center stage. It was amazing. I didn't know it was going to be like that, but people really loved it, levitated towards it. I cannot, unf- unfortunately and fortunately, make it because we also have a men's retreat that we scheduled
Mhm,
there. So men have already paid and they're in, and other brothers are coming on. We have a few spots left. So if you're
mhm,
interested as a man, we need more stronger men, and there's tons of reasons. We live in a patriarchic world. There's just overload of this masculinity. It's destroying us. We need to be more, like women. That's true, but also know what it is to be a man, to be responsible. Yeah, you pay bills and all that, but how do you move in this world? If you're sitting around tense, anxiety, biting your nails, and like that, that's not a definition of a man. A man sees something and he handles it in the proper way, and this takes
mhm,
practice. We were never taught this, the
mhm,
rite of passage. Women often get this in the Latino world, they get the quinceañera, when a girl turns 15, they
mhm,
let her know, okay, you're becoming a woman, but boys, we don't get anything, like
mhm.
that. So we've scheduled it during that time. But anybody who's in the tri-state area, in Brooklyn, in Jersey, Long Island, Westchester, come down to Brooklyn, Nicholas Brooklyn, for that wonderful event. And before we go, I did want to mention that Nicholas Brooklyn is going through this thing here, the transition where um, I'm not really privy to some of the changes, but what I do know is that they possibly could be shutting down Nicholas Brooklyn, and it's a trying time for them. And and really, anybody who's out there, look into Nicholas Brooklyn, and help them. They're looking for financial help, which we're all putting what we can, and every little nickel counts. And but yeah, perhaps you could say a little bit about this, sister.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So saw it for the first time, I think Sunday,
mm,
that there's a GoFundMe for Nicholas Brooklyn. They're looking to raise money to basically save the business. And I know, like, I love Nicholas Brooklyn because there's no place like it, really. It's a conscious atmosphere. Monique, from the time I met her, like, she was so welcoming and kind, and I always felt like, valued. Like, I met her as a customer first, and I
mm,
always felt valued, as a customer, and I could see how much she puts into that place, and it's been around for 52 years, and
mm, mm,
we need it to continue. Like, we
yeah,
need it to stay. We need
yeah,
that conscious,
yeah.
hub right in the middle of Bed-Stuy. So
Yeah,
whether
yeah,
it's, donating on the GoFundMe page
yeah.
or
Mhm,
shopping there
mhm,
online,
mhm,
they
mhm,
have the website, you can shop online or in the store. Um,
mhm,
if we
mhm.
all can do our part,
Yeah,
or just
okay.
spread the word,
Right.
like
That's what I
tonight,
was gonna say. Mhm,
help just let people know about Nicholas Brooklyn to see if they
mhm,
can shop there or donate.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because everything going on, we need
Mhm,
more conscious places where
mhm.
people can gather and share their gifts and, mingle with each other and lift each other up.
Yeah.
So we need
It's
all hands on deck
it's
in whatever
crazy.
way, in whatever way.
It's crazy. I was looking a little more closer about how other races, how they move, right? It's just crazy. I don't want to name no, but they're stronger together and they rise, you see.
Mm,
But it seems like sometimes we unfortunately devour our own selves, and when we should be uplifting one another. Like some of the events at Nicholas are just incredible. Like you couldn't find this. And if you did, you'd have to pay a lot of money, trust me. And then
right.
some of the people that are there, the speakers that they have, like these conscious brothers, sister, you see some of these guys, like, yo, not for
Yeah,
nothing. I've told Monique, I'm like, yo, those guys you have, those are my heroes. Like some of the knowledge they have, scholar, oof,
I
man,
know.
they bring the knowledge, the
Yes,
history, religion, psychology and therapy, and oh my God, it's just incredible.
I know. I know. I know. So
I love
we
it.
have to we have to do what we can so
Hmm.
that
We're doing it.
Nicholas
Yep,
stays
we're
around.
doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you already know there's other businesses looking at that spot, like they will snatch it right up and flip it into a sneaker store, or belts, or some other garbage 99-cent store. I'm telling
right.
you, I'm
Something
telling
that
you,
we see on every block that we don't
every
need.
block, like how many nail places do you need? Like
Right. I do my own
it's crazy,
nails.
like
Like I
three
don't even,
on one
you
block.
know. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Or
crazy.
cell phone,
Cell phone thing,
stores
like
or
oh man, we don't need
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It is crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in full force, and I made a posting, and I'm going to continue to do so and help and contribute in any way.
Yeah.
It is a powerful place. Let's keep going, family. Let's stand up.
Yes.
Well, there you have it, family. Thank you so much, Leah, for sharing the knowledge, man. We're just gonna keep this going, and thank you for your time. I appreciate you big time.
Thank you for
Okay,
having me and
of
thank you for
course.
having this platform to
Let's keep
talk
it
about,
going.
all things health and wellness and ascension.
That's right. So stay right there, sister. Family, thank you for tapping in. Until the next time,